Hello, my name is Leslie Balgus, and I'm the Assistant Director of Programs in the Business Development section of the West Virginia Department of Agriculture. And this is the 2020 West Virginia Specialty Crop Block Grant Program Informational Webinar. Today's webinar will provide the following: an overview of the program, an overview of the application, deadlines, timeline and next steps, contact information, and questions. The overview. The RFA and grant application instructions can be found at www.agriculturewv.gov. Click on the Divisions section, go to Business Development, click the Grants and Training Opportunities, and then the Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. I've also provided a direct link below. This link will contain the RFA and grant application instructions, which include the self-assessment, budget, work plan, and allowable expenditures. There are a few program changes for 2020. Specialty crop block grants are now 2-year programs. This will be September 30th, 2020 to September 29th, 2022. There is now a minimum award of $15,000. The previous minimum award was $5,000. There is a maximum award amount of $100,000. The previous maximum award amount was $25,000. There will be quarterly financial and programmatic reporting required. Some things will stay the same. The applicant must be an entity with a DUNS number and a listing in the SAM. Projects cannot benefit any individual or farm, must be a group. There is a competitive review process, and this grant is reimbursement only. Eligible crops for Specialty Crop Block Grant Program can be found at the link below. Ineligible crops can be found at the link below. The application process. The first section of the application is the grantee self-assessment. This document provides an opportunity for the applicant to provide a snapshot of its experience and ability to manage a grant. This information is not provided to the reviewers, only a score and any areas of risk. These areas of risk help to determine if there needs to be an increase in site visits or frequent reporting. Assessments are now required for all federal grants. You may download and save this as a Word document. This is one of the sections of the self-assessment. The application narrative. You will download the narrative as a Word document. You'll complete this narrative using either 11 or 12-point font. You'll keep the document formatting. The narrative boxes will expand as you type. Please limit the number of bullet points in the narrative boxes. Be sure to answer all questions and check boxes. If you have questions, refer to the instruction manual. Begin on page 27 of the instruction manual for a box-by-box description of information to be provided. The duration of the grants will be 2 years, September 30th, 2020 to September 29th, 2022. Please be specific about the crops. Do not simply say vegetables. You must have a DUNS number to apply. Your summary should be suitable for a publication. If possible, please describe impacts and outcomes in this summary. Keep the blue areas shaded in the headings. Remember, numbers and quantifiers are critical. Please be specific. If you are applying as a disadvantaged farmer, see the definition below. The application requires that you provide the following information: any previous Specialty Crop Block Grant Program awards you have received, other funding sources requested for similar projects, and sustainability statement for ongoing projects. Any responses do not exclude you from receiving an award. Please note, projects cannot supplant existing projects. You must use the outcome and indicators provided in the performance measures document in the instruction manual. You must have at least one outcome and one indicator. All indicators include a space for a quantifiable number which you must provide. Here's an example of a measurable outcome. To enhance the competitiveness of specialty crops through increased sales. The definition: marketing and promotion projects focus efforts to sell, advertise, promote, market, and generate publicity, attract new customers, or raise customer awareness for specialty crops or a specialty crop venue. These include, but are not limited to, uses of social media to market and promote, specialty crop local, regional, and national campaigns, specialty crop only trade shows, website promotion and development, use and development of billboards, radio, television, magazine, and email ads, marketing materials such as direct mail brochures, agritourism, marketing and promotion campaigns with an education component directed to consumers. Here is a performance indicator associated with that measurable outcome. Sales will increase from blank dollars to blank dollars and by blank percent as a result of marketing and or promotion activities. You need to develop baseline data. Please make sure you indicate how you will measure this indicator in the data collection to report on outcomes and indicators section of the application. The budget worksheet. Formulas are included in the budget. Please do not change the format. Match is not required. However, if you would like to add match to your program or to your project, please explain it in your 3-page narrative options section. Remember, higher education and student employees should not be included in the personnel section, but in the other section. Specialty crop block grant program funds are to be used for activities that yield measurable outcomes. Provide as many details as possible. Briefly describe duties and responsibilities as they relate to the grant project. Remember, grant funds cannot pay for fundraising. Please do not reference in the application or in the budget unallowable crops. If you have questions regarding allowable expenditures, please reference the document in the application. Remember, when choosing whether it's equipment or supplies, equipment has a useful life of more than 1 year and a cost of $5,000 or more. Supplies cost less than $1,000. Program income. Program income includes all monies collected as part of your project. This may include workshop fees, participation fees, sales from school-based high tunnel crops, etc. This will be reported quarterly for these projects. You must estimate program income in the budget section and explain how funds will be reinvested back into the project. Again, profit and fundraising cannot be part of a specialty crop block grant project. The 2020 additional narrative should focus on the specifics of your project, not highlighted in the application. This is your opportunity to sell your project or program to the reviewers. This should be very concise, easy to read, and not simply be a repeat of your application. This additional narrative is limited to 3 pages, double-spaced, 12-point font, 1-inch margins. This is the only place in the application where you can add photos, graphs, etc. Some final notes. All application materials must be submitted in Word format. Do not submit PDF documents, please. Limit your narrative and additional project detail section to 3 pages. Remember that evaluators are your peers. Make your project easy to understand and demonstrate exactly how a grant award would be spent within your project description. Deadlines. 2020 application package checklist. A completed application package will have the self-assessment, a budget, a narrative, a work plan, and a cover sheet. Again, all these will be in Word documents, no PDFs. The application should be emailed to grants@wvda.us by 4 p.m. Wednesday, January the 8th, 2020. timeline and next steps. The application. The subgrantee will submit the application to WVDA. The application will then go through a competitive review process by the evaluation committee. The evaluation committee results go to the selection committee. The selection committee results then make up the state plan that WVDA will submit to USDA Agricultural Marketing Service. After that, WVDA will receive a state plan award notification. Funding notification will then go out to the subgrantees. The agreement with terms and conditions will be sent out to the subrecipients. The project start date will not be before September 30th, 2020. Project reporting will be quarterly and annual, and the project completion date will be no later than 9/29/22. If awarded, you will have the following: project monitoring and or site visits, reimbursement submission, quarterly reporting, first and second year reporting or annual reporting, quarterly earned income reporting if applicable, audit reporting if required, your second equipment report if applicable. Grant reporting and closeout. The grantee will provide WVDA with final expenditures and a final report. WVDA will then in turn provide a notice of grant closeout to the subrecipient. In this letter will have information needed to adhere to the record retention policy or any equipment reporting necessary. The 2020 timeline overview. Remember, the applications are due January the 8th, 2020. The competitive review will be March 3rd, 2020. Recommendations will go to the Commissioner after the March 3rd competitive review. The state plan submission to USDA will be in mid-May 2020. State plan approval will be around September 2020. Award notification to subgrantees will be after the USDA notifies WVDA of the state plan approval. The agreements will go out and the project start date will not be before September 30th, 2020. The grant completion date will be no later than September 29th, 2022. Contact information for specialty crop block grants and any questions should be directed to myself, Leslie Boggess. grants@wvda.us, or you can call me 304-558-2210. Thank you.